everyone, my name is Frankie, and welcome to a Movie a Day Challenge. Today is day number 295, and it's October 22nd, 2018. Today I'll be watching the 1981 horror film, The Prowler. Now, in each episode of a Movie a Day Challenge, I pick one film that I've never seen before, and then I take that movie's movie poster and place it to the side of me. I do this because I absolutely have no idea of what the film that I'm about to watch is about. And being that I have absolutely no clue about the film or what it's about, I feel like I need to draw some type of conclusion of what I think the film may be about, based solely on the movie poster itself. In saying this, let's go ahead and take a look at the 1981 horror film movie poster to The Prowler. Now, this is a really intense, I want to say, movie poster. You've got some kind of weird person dressed up as what I'm taking it as some kind of army guy. I'm taking it as a guy because I don't know if this could possibly be a woman, but I'm going on the limb that this is the 80s and this is probably some sadistic dude dressed up as some army guy, and he's got a woman that he's holding on to, and you know, she's fighting and screaming for her life. It's a very intense image. And when you hear about a prowler, you think about someone who's, you know, breaking in and trying to take things or going in to rob someone. This is what I'm feeling, that this type of guy is going in through homes or going to people's, like, apartments and just wreaking havoc in their homes and hurting them while he takes whatever they want. Well, whatever he wants, I should say. But it looks really intense, and it's probably going to be a crazy 80s horror film. So I'm very much looking forward to sitting down and enjoying the 1981 horror film, The Prowler. Now, after I finish analyzing the movie poster itself, I then let you, the viewer, know that I'm going to go ahead and watch The Prowler. But before I go and do that, I want to let you, the viewer, know that after I finish watching The Prowler, I then come back and tell you a little bit about the film. However, I don't go in great detail about the movie. You see, I don't tell you any major spoilers about the film, nor do I tell you anything about the movie's plot either. Why? Well, because I don't want to ruin your chance of watching a really great film for the first time. And since this is also my first time watching The Prowler, I wouldn't want anyone to spoil the movie for me by telling me any major spoilers about the film or anything about the movie's plot either. I want you to enjoy the film for what it is and be entertained by it, just like I'm about to. Now, in case you have previously seen the 1981 horror film The Prowler previously, then please, feel free to substitute The Prowler for another film for your viewing pleasure. It doesn't even have to be in the genre of horror films. This way you can take part in a Movie a Day Challenge and possibly watch each film along with me as I go along. In saying this, I'm going to go ahead right now and watch the 1981 horror film The Prowler, and then I'm going to come back and tell you a little bit about the film. I'll be right back. I just finished the 1981 horror film The Prowler, and I want to let you, the viewer, know that The Prowler is a good movie. In fact, this film right here could have been a great film. However, I lowered my grade because of one thing: the overall climax of the film itself. I did not like the way it ended. Now, aside from the climax of the film, it's a great movie. It really is. However, it's just labeled good because the way it ended just didn't agree with me. No, I felt that it was done so that someone can just write the film and just get it done and over with. And it was poorly done. Poorly done. There could have been more to this film. In fact, The Prowler could have had more sequels because I really felt that this film could have gone on and told more of a story as the years went on. Now, aside from that, the story is believable because this can possibly happen. And that gives that tone of scariness a little bump up. The film itself, with its death scenes, are very graphic. So if you don't feel comfortable watching a graphic film of someone going around and killing people, remind you, this is the early 80s. There is no, hold on how graphic a film can be just yet. This film shows weapons penetrating bodies, skin coming out and being slashed away. I'm saying that this film is graphic, so if you do not sit easy with graphic scenes, this horror film is not for you. Now, aside from that, this film does have nudity. In fact, one of the scenes that deal with nudity is actually a death scene as well. And it's graphic. It's graphic. This film is graphic and should not be suitable for a younger audience. Unless you are that parent or an older sibling that goes, you know what, I'm going to allow this person to see it. But I would not allow anyone underneath the age of 16 to really watch this film because it's that graphic. Now, story, I actually enjoyed watching. It gives that sort of thriller feeling as well as a mystery, but it really hits home with the horror. It really does. And to put that little cherry on top, I gotta say the acting is quite well, but there are some parts that are overly done. But it's okay. It's not about the acting in this film. It's about how those scenes come across you and you're willing to accept them. I don't know how people today would feel about the Prowler being made the way it is because I do not know how it would be accepted into today's audience. I really don't. But for an 80s film, it is really cool to see. I just don't know how people would have accepted it today as much as people accepted it back then. But it's definitely worth watching. The overall climax of the film, I had a problem with it. I did not enjoy the ending, the very ending, because I really thought that they could have rewrote it and just came up with something completely different. In fact, as I said, I really thought this film could have more sequels to it. It's worth watching. It really is. Would I recommend it to a family member or friend? Yes, I would, but that person has to be over 16. Would I watch The Prowler again? Yes, I would. I really enjoyed it. I really thought it could have been a great film. It's just the climax of the movie that it spoiled it. That's why I made it a good film. It's worth watching for not only a movie a day challenge, but just to enjoy as well. Now, if you like today's episode, you see that thumbs up underneath this episode? Right here, right down there. You see that thumbs up? Click it. Give us a like for today's episode. As you're doing that, maybe you've seen the 1981 horror film, The Prowler, and liked it. Maybe you've seen it, you didn't like it. Maybe you're interested in watching the film, you're hearing my review about it, you're going to watch this film after you finish this review, and then come back and write something. Well, whichever the three may be, please tell me in the comment box down below. Right down there. And as you're doing that, you see that word subscribe underneath this video? Click it. Subscribe to a movie a day challenge. Now, tomorrow is day number 296 of a movie a day challenge, and I'll be watching the 2002 horror film 28 Days Later. My name is Frankie. I will be here tomorrow for day number 296 and the 2002 horror film 28 Days Later. I will see you tomorrow.